Danish Wakeel's Egyptian-inspired fashion show. I'm just getting ready to interview him and I can't wait to find out all about his inspirations for this show. So what inspired you to be a designer in the first place?
I never intended to become a designer. It is one of the most beautiful accidents or incidents of my life. All my life, I studied to be a commercial pilot. Wow. That was my childhood passion, to be a commercial pilot. And I did my first degree in aviation technology from City University in London. The next thing I knew, I was walking around for London Fashion Weeks and the clothes shows in Birmingham and all over the UK, in Dubai, I've done shows. Then I enrolled myself on another degree in London College of Fashion. Did my second BA in fashion design and then specialised at an MA in menswear.
How do you go about choosing that person?
We do sort of take a lot of pride in selecting models which comes from all walks of life. All nationalities are sort of staged on the runways, all cultures, a good mix of a blend of cultures. And yes, the main theme sort of is the main umbrella, and that kind of overshadows everything. But you will see today on the runway, you've got cultures from all really cultures, from blacks to Asians to whites to Europeans to Canadians. So it's a good blend of models you'll see on the runway today.
So if there was somebody who wanted to do what you're doing, to make their passion then into their lifestyle, what would you suggest? How would they go about it? The only thing I would like to do, be it plumbing, be it a cobbler's job, be it a banker, be it corporate, whatever you want to do, you must have an unwavering perseverance towards it, the dedication for it. And it hasn't been an easy voyage for me. The journey has been quite challenging. It was a tempestuous roller coaster ride. I've had some really high highs in my fashion career and some good lows as well. So I've had my fair share of, obviously lows in terms of that you're working around the clock. So and you miss out on your family. I don't get to see my parents very much, my brothers, my cousins very much. And I grew up in an atmosphere where I come from a very close-knit family, and it's a very more academic-oriented family, and they're busy with their own lives. But because I live here and I have to travel all over because of my work, so that's one of the flip side, as I would like to put it.
You're the designer for the collection, Miss Bess, that we just saw today, and I have to say I loved it. It was so elegant, and the colours, it was so bright, it was so bold. What inspired you to today's collection?
I mean, it's called Rainbow. So actually, it's my son. My son inspired me to actually name that collection that way, because it's actually my second catwalk here in the UK. And my first catwalk was at the African Fashion Week 2014, and then I was there alone as a single model. I had to bring my son and everything, so I was alone with him. And after that, I was like, Darren, do you think we're gonna do this again? He said, yes, mommy, you should have loved this, and you're gonna have a beautiful dress with a lot of color, and we'll call it Rainbow.
With this, my collection, when you see it with the pictures, is very much, I would say, 60s Soho meets 60s Lagos sort of thing. So it's very sort of African prints mixed with very refined and very defined European cuts.
Do you think that what someone wears can portray some of their personality?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, times are changing now, especially with men. Men are becoming more metrosexual, so they're looking after their images a little bit more, especially with some of the guys on the catwalk, with the makeup's changing, guy liner that's now in. So yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It just shows whether you're a versatile person, how you concoct an outfit together.
It's like anything. It's even with art, with music, it's pure emotion. It's you coming into a form. So for music, it's sound. For fashion, it's through the cloth. So I think absolutely, what someone wears can define who they are.
I think somebody's clothes is their identity. I think that people can have different identities with their clothing as well.
Of course. What you wear in the morning makes people more happy.
There are people out there that they call it fashionista. Yeah. There are some who follows fashion, and there are some who are really making an impression with what they wear.
Tell, because when a person's feeling, quite sort of vibrant and stuff, they wear, bright colours, and you can tell about the way their outlook in life.
Someone who
doesn't feel that they can wear anything can always accessorise to have that little quirkiness about themselves that sends them aside and makes them feel good. I think that's what fashion's all about. It's about making yourself feel good. You step out and you feel great because you look good and you know you look good, and you've got either a special piece on, you've got a special pair of shoes on, even just walking out with a great handbag.
There used to be a time when we used to hide behind a lot of things that we used to wear. We used to do it because we were frightened of what people thought, but now I think, especially in not just London now, Birmingham and Leeds and more metropolitan cities now, it's people are dressing how they want to dress.
Wow, that looked quite interesting there. I mean, Lisa, what was it like being at London Fashion Week then?
Well, I wish I'd gotten to see, obviously, a lot more, but going back to like our topic, it's another way in which people can express themselves. So, you know, that's what the designers are all doing. They're putting, you know, their own take on what makes them happy, isn't it? And wanting people to live that out as well. I think that for us ladies especially, you know, your outfit doesn't feel finished for me if it's not in a heel. So it's how we express ourselves and you know, not to be, I think the one lesson you can learn is about not conforming to just what the media says, because different designers express themselves in different ways. They're not just, you know, okay, that's that hat, that's that, you know. So it's the same with us. We have to wear what expresses ourselves in the right way to make us feel happy.
Yeah, definitely. You know, going a little bit back to what James was saying when he was back here about eating disorders and how it affects your body image. Do you think that people start to get affected by their profiles after a while, to the point where they get a distorted body image or even an image overall of how they should be, ladies? Like, for example, you know, earlier on during the break, we were having a little bit of an argument over certain apps that retouches you when you take pictures. And Lisa and I were having a big debate about it. I mean, for example, do you think someone who uses these beauty apps that do retouching on your face or retouching on your body, for example, do you think those type of apps are wrong and can give people a distorted body image? I know Lisa's like, she's got it on the tip of her tongue, she's bursting.
I'll leave Lisa for last. I think that it's okay to use it as long as you use it with moderation.
Right.
Of course, if you're gonna do a retouch on your face, for example, you're not gonna make yourself look like you're so stretchy and no wrinkles, nothing. But I wouldn't go to the extreme of retouching my body shape, making me look so slim or making me look a different way.
Yeah, curvaceous or
because what's the point? People see me every day anyway.
But wouldn't you say that such apps, they just help people to have a little bit of fun with the way they look, or help people to even push themselves to look even better?
I think that, see, I'm not saying, okay, burn the beauty apps, okay?
Yeah, you almost was during the break.
What I am saying is that I just don't see the point in certain apps, and everyone just looks so retouched, and I'm like, but I know you don't look like that. And it's I am all for, you know, doing what makes you feel good, but it's like, I don't, for me personally, I don't want it to be when someone comes to meet me, they're like, you're Lisa, but okay, this looks like you on Instagram. This is you know, I want them to see it and know it's me, and not be shocked that, oh, I do actually have, you know, a few spots, or, you know, a few like laughter lines or what have you. You know, it's me. If, you know.
Well, you know, Priscilla, I don't mean to expose you. You and I sometimes use some of these apps. What do you think about these apps? Do you think that they're just harmless fun, or do you think it really can have a strong effect on the way you look at yourself or the way you see yourself?
Depends on how you're gonna use the apps, isn't it? Because if you're gonna use the apps to retouch your whole face, then I don't agree, because like Lisa said, unless the person retouches their whole face and never leaves home, isn't it? But for me, I use it because I like taking pictures. Right. So I see the lighting, and if I don't like the lighting, I don't like the whole picture. So I use these apps to retouch the lighting, or yeah, just like that, because if I'm gonna retouch everything, like Lisa said, people will see and
it could be, you know, they could think, like on your profile picture, might think, oh, you're 30, and then when you meet them,
more like 55. You know what I mean? It's like,
Or then you don't understand why people keep on adding you when they pass by you. They don't say hi. Maybe they don't recognize you.
Too much beauty.
Too many beauty. It's so true. You know what? We're going to have to go to a break. They're saying we need to go to a break. But just before I go to the break, I want to ask you ladies this question. So when does it become a little bit too much? When do you think people are taking the whole profile pic and even their whole body image on social media too much? I mean, we did speak a little bit about eating disorders, and that's one way it affects people. So I want to know after the break, when does it become a bit too much actually? So stay tuned and let me know after the break.